live and direct from the new planet Earth. Where pandemics are plenty, but the girls are still pretty in fashionable dresses. You know what I'm talking about. Where ignorance is bliss. You ain't gotta give a damn about no code.
Tell me who unleashed our animal instinct. Why the op standing there tickle pink? Have a drink, walking them up liquor. Shot of poison, one thicker. Somebody got some explaining to do. And the classic man is a danger to you. And me too, tatted on my forehead. Go home, go to bed. Yeah, I dread something we get this way come. When the family unit is overrun. When the structure is undone. Some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick. Original gorilla in the midst.
Welcome to another edition of the Franchise Podcast. I'm Joe Arrigo. With me is my brother, TQ.
Oh yeah, we back in the building, and it's almost time for the draft.
Damn, dude.
What, you got a problem?
No, it's drafty in here.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
In a week where it's official that the great Aaron Rodgers has left the Packers for the Jets, our man Joe Arrigo over here is in the morning, and it's affecting his brain. That
Not at all.
whack-ass joke that he just threw.
Nah, I got another good one about nuts and glitter. I'll tell you later.
Oh my God, please.
But
All right, so the Raiders about to get better or what? What we doing?
Hey, let's talk draft right now. The Raiders have the 7th pick going into the first round, and there's a lot of needs. There's a lot of needs. You can go in any direction whatsoever, except for maybe running back with Josh Jacobs. You're set there. So in round one,
Are we set there though? I don't mean to go off, but are we set there? Like, what is the deal with this whole?
I mean, he's franchise
standoff?
tagged. They'll get a deal done.
He gonna be at camp?
They're gonna get a deal done.
All right, man. All right, so we got number 7.
So right here, I'm looking at a couple different directions. Now, talk to somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
Whatever. Call it a source, sauce, whatever you want to call it. The only quarterback, from what they said, the Raiders would be interested in, because Bryce Young is going number 1 overall, would be C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud, a Raider fan growing up from the IE, trained by my guys at Rare Breed. Yes, sir. So I kind of like that. Now, I like it only because it gives them protection, and it gives them, in case Jimmy G goes down, which we've talked about on previous shows.
Yeah.
But
the probability.
high probability.
Yeah.
But it also gives them a look to the future. You know, okay, we don't have to worry about that next year. We can build everything around it.
That's the problem.
I get that.
That's the problem.
'Cause
We're
I know-
talking about a quarterback. We don't need to be looking to the future right now with one of these dudes. The future is coming out next year. Don't blow it on one of these dudes in this draft when we're probably going to be trashed this year. Everybody's taking a step up. Kansas City ain't coming down. Chargers going to be better. Broncos going to be better. Jimmy's probably going to get hurt. You know, this is the Josh rebuild. It's going to take some time. Get the quarterback next year. Caleb Williams, can we please either get a defensive player this year or trade back? You can trade back twice if you want. The Raiders need depth.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. So now let's go to that side of the ball with defense. Well, first, let me double back. Offensive line. The name I keep hearing, I heard 2 names. The kid from Northwestern, or Paris Johnson Jr., the tackle from Ohio State. Look, you got to build from the inside out, and you already paid the left tackle, Colt Miller, a boatload of money. Why not get the bookend?
Because your defense is trash. That's why. That is the reason why. Your defense has been, and probably will continue to be, trash. Fix it now. Fix it in the draft. Come on, man. Yep. Ain't this the Patriot way? And that's what the new just win baby is the Patriot way.
But
build a defense up.
But Bill would take offensive linemen
with the 34th ranked defense in the league. It's only 32 teams.
Let me play something. Let me play something out. Bill Belichick had never had a 32nd ranked defense.
That's my point.
That's Bill Belichick, though.
That's
you can't
my
compare
point.
him to Bill. That's different.
Why not? He's been sitting under there all of this time.
Because he's
trying
an
to
offensive coach and Bill's the defensive, the greatest coach in professional sports history.
Listen, man, that's not the case, first of all. Second of all,
he just can't bring his mouth to say it.
No. That's not the case. That's not the case. Second of all, the Patriots, through all that winning, they had one offensive player. One. One guy the whole while. Nobody else. One guy.
So it was 1 out of 11. 1 out of 11 the whole time. He threw the ball to himself.
Yes.
And then he tripped.
No, he threw the ball to Randy Moss for 1 year.
Okay.
Other times, he was throwing the ball to himself.
Wait, where did Randy Moss come from, though?
What do you mean where he came from?
When they got him, where did he come from again?
What do you mean where did he come from?
I'm trying to remember.
University, West Virginia?
No, I'm talking about when they traded for him. Who did they trade with to get him? Where was he at the year before?
Oh, man, come on. Let me drink my drink. Taking me off somewhere I don't want to go. My point is, the Patriots dynasty was built off of a defense.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're trying to remake this team based on what you've done, which is success, like it or not, whether we like the Patriot way or not, they won big time for over a decade. So
True.
If this is what he's trying to do here, and the end result of all of this is the Raiders winning like the Patriots did, okay, do it exactly like that. I don't care. I don't like it. I still got tough rule issues.
Let's talk about this. Jalen Carter, I talked to some people down at Georgia. I know a couple people down there. They're not sad that he's gone.
Yeah, I heard.
They're literally like, hey, you know what? We won a couple natties, but okay.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to slide. After Seattle's at 6, that's the sweet spot for him, I believe.
Yeah.
But if he gets there, there could be a slide, like a Warren Sapp type slide for Jalen Carter.
Look, I like him. I like him on the field. The off the field stuff doesn't really bother me. I think what bothers me about it is I would just rather depth, man. I just feel like depth is what keeps those teams that are always sustained and going to the playoffs. It's because they got so many bodies at the end of the year when everybody else is in their attrition, everybody else is beat up, everybody else is moving at 60, 70% of what they were at the beginning of the season. You got fresh bodies coming in that have sat behind the starters. They know the system. They can come in, play a couple of plays, go sit back down, come back in with fresh legs. So it's the amount of players for this year and for next year that the Raiders can build a solid rotation on. So, you know,
they have 12 picks this year.
They do.
That's like tied for the most in the draft.
I don't know. I still think that there's so many holes. If they could get 2 or 3 of those players to end up starting, that would be great. I still think they need another draft to get to the point of actually winning after this one. You never know what happens, but if it's left up to me, my number one thing would be to trade out of that pick. If he's there at 7, I will say this. If I'm the general manager, it's going to be hard for me to make that decision.
If you're Dave Ziegler and you're at 7 and C.J. Stroud is there, you don't pass that up. You're not going to pass him up.
I'm not taking C.J. Stroud.
Now, stay defense. You got 3 guys, I think 3 names to keep an eye on.
Okay.
One, you're going to like because we both agree you got to hit the quarterback, hit him hard, and hit him often.
Absolutely.
Defensive end, outside linebacker from Texas Tech,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Some say he's better than Anderson from Alabama, that he's more complete.
I'm not
saying that either. But there's some people that believe that. The other 2 are actually corners. Devin Witherspoon from Illinois, who's my favorite corner in this draft. He plays with dog. He's got an attitude. He can play the slot, the boundary, a ball hawk, not scared to come up and smack you in the mouth. And he's got an alpha leader attitude, which I think you need more of that on the defensive side of the ball and in that locker room outside of Devontae and Max and Chandler. And the other is Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. So, and he's more of I want to say he's more of a finesse corner than Witherspoon is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think because to the corners, I'm taking Witherspoon and I'm running the pick up there if I'm not trading out. Or if it comes to Wilson and Witherspoon, now I have to weigh a little bit because you don't pass up on pass rushers. That is a prime position.
And you just said it. We was talking about the offensive side of the ball. You build from the inside out. So, I'm going to be a broken record here because I said this every draft, and I will continue to say it every draft until the game changes. You win Super Bowls. You consistently get late in the playoffs when you have a defensive rotation of 7, 8, 9 guys. So, on the line. That's what I mean, the defensive line. So, the Raiders need more pass rushers. They need more rangy linebackers that can play a multitude of
I'm going to tell you the linebacker to watch. And
Who? Give me him.
Jack Campbell from Iowa.
Okay.
He is, to me,
Don't know him.
bro, a lot like Luke Kuechly. And he's a late first, second round guy. Campbell, they call him Captain Jack.
Okay.
Like, he is, again, another alpha, rangy, can go get it.
Hey, give me one of them linebackers later on in the draft that can go forward and backwards, side to side. I'm with that.
Get him around too. If you go Wilson and Campbell or Witherspoon and Campbell with the first 2 picks, if you're a Raider fan, you'll be doing backflips. Unless you go to the Ghost Bar for the party over there. That's where we're going to be at.
Hey.
Make sure you come to the Ghost Bar, Raiders. The Raider
Going down.
So you can't do it there.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I almost messed up.
Yeah.
I almost messed up. Cut that, Trish. Cut that.
But that's the guy I would really like. If you come out with that Campbell and Wilson or Campbell and Witherspoon, if you're a Raider fan, you got to be ecstatic at that point. Now say, okay, now we can go get a lineman, or on either side of the ball, we can maybe go get another safety.
Think about it, though. You do get Carter right there. You're looking at a defensive line just by the names, and you're like, oh, my. Oh, my.
Okay.
Chandler, Max,
But
Carter?
Here's the thing with Carter, and I liked him. We talked about this a couple shows ago. We talked about it privately. I like him, but the more I hear about, off the field, the more I hear about, like if I'm a coach, I don't like when my guys leave. If you're a guy, you're a dude for me. I'm like, no, man. Like, yeah, great. I'm not hearing that from the guy over there.
Because you're missing something. You're missing something. I always used to say this about Alabama. The player coming out is going to go to a unit, man for man, that is not as good as where he came from.
Okay.
They are loaded. So any little off the field, any little whatever, it's like, okay, we don't need that guy. But what makes you say we don't need that guy is because the dog you got playing behind him and the dog you got coming in the next year's class.
That's a fair point.
So it's like, I don't really look at that. It's not smoke and mirrors, but it's just the fact that down there right now, they have an embarrassment of riches. Period.
But I think it comes down to, you have to ask yourself this question, and I know they had him in for a top 30 meeting. Can you trust him away from the facility?
In Vegas.
Anywhere. Not just in Vegas, because you got the same problem in Miami, same problem in LA, New York, Chicago, San Francisco.
I don't know, man.
New Orleans.
I don't know. This place is it's a little bit different.
I'm just saying, can you trust him away from the facility? And in Vegas.
Right.
If the answer is I don't know or no, then you move on and you just said, so right now you answer the question yourself.
I get it. But at the same time, I'm sitting here all confident about it. If I'm sitting in that war room on draft day and he's still there at 7, I don't have no hair on my head. I'm gonna have half a beard by the time number 8 comes by, man. I'm like, literally, that is stress. Because if you pass on that man and he goes right behind you and blows doors off the league next year, we're gonna be sick.
So I know normally you spend a lot of time studying the draft.
Yeah.
But you're working on an album, so it's been a lot less time this year.
It has been.
That
I must say.
And we haven't even, this is like our first in-depth draft talk we've had. And normally we were on this all the time.
For real.
Like having drinks and dinner, like, hey, let's talk about the draft.
We normally talk about the draft when our teams get knocked out of the playoffs, actually. So it is what it is.
Yeah, talk about that. So he's just throwing shots today. But let me say this. Or let me ask you this. Is there a specific player that you're like, in this draft, does this take away Bryce and Will, like, is there a player in this draft that you're like, regardless of the position, I like him?
It's Carter. Yes.
That's your guy.
That is my guy. That's my guy. What worries me is the Las Vegas Raiders of 2 years ago. It's stuck in my head. I'm out here. I'm part of the media.
And he's the last person on earth on that team, including when DC was there,
right,
that we thought something like that would happen to.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean.
Exactly. So it worries me. I don't know if it should. It just does. That's how I feel about it. I wish that it would be a no-brainer if it wasn't for 2 years ago, even with the off-the-field stuff that he's got going on right now.
You know what, though? I'll say this. It's a better locker room now than 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
You don't have knuckleheads like Damon
100%.
Arnett up in that joint. You know what I mean?
100%. And not only that, just the structure that McDaniels and his staff and his crew has brought to the Raiders, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So you may be able to take a chance on somebody.
Yeah, it's absolutely, totally different from the previous regime and how they just kind of handled their player relations or whatever. And just the structure in the building. I remember the first training camp practice we went to.
Yeah.
Man, put us in the sun, in the desert. Like, it was just cussing at people, screaming, hollering. We like,
kicking people off sitting on the
what's
ground.
What's going on here? We got Derek Carr running laps around again. Like, what is this? It looked like high school or something, man. So, but it was good. I think that if we didn't need anything out here, I think the Raiders have just needed structure for years, man.
I think Mark understands that, and that's why he went the direction he went with the hires that he had last year. For me, I got three people, and it's all the same kind of. Jalen Hyatt, the receiver from Tennessee, he's special.
You think so?
Oh, yes. I think there's something about him. When I watch him torch Bama's DBs, and I mean, like,
let's think about his body, though.
But look, you put him in a slot. Now you're not gonna be able to press him. You put him in motion, and he's using that speed to get downfield. He's got a different motor to get to the ball. Mingo, from the other receiver from Ole Miss, he's different.
Yeah.
He may be and when it's all said and done, the best receiver in this class. And no disrespect to Jackson Smith and Jabba, who is the best receiver in this class. And then Jordan Addison from USC by way of Pitt. And I know you talk about body types. People are talking about he's slight build like Hyatt.
Yeah.
But he's a Bolitnikoff winner, well-trained. Shout out to Brendan Marion, UNLV OC, who was a receiver coach at Pitt when Jordan won the Bolitnikoff. Those are the guys I kind of like, and me with receivers. That's kind of like my kryptonite in drafts. Yeah. So,
where is Addison like sitting on the boards?
Man, honestly, coming in, he was supposed to be the first receiver. Now he's like third or fourth, maybe first round. I would think he's a first rounder, but second round is probably the ceiling. So first round floor, second round ceiling. I think last year going to SC in a way kind of hurt him because he did get dinged up a little bit and the production wasn't there. And you expected a dip in production
for sure
with everybody that's around. Yeah. But I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. But he was hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? What's his because I didn't see none of his combine work
I think he's like 6'1", 178, 180, something like that. Yeah. But he didn't run like 4.4, like 4.5, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's
new speed was gonna be kind of a thing. But,
so he's another slot guy. You know who he reminds me of though? A poor man's Marvin Harrison. Route runner.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And Marvin Harrison had a hell of
a career. Good. He's gonna be fine.
He's fine on and off the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Marvin, we love you. Don't come after us. We're good.
Things good, homeboy.
You're a Hall of Famer.
Indeed.
But yeah, those are my guys that are those are my guys.
Well, I'll tell you this much. For all of the hoopla over McDaniels and Ziegler and the things that they did this season and how the team underperformed this season, this is really when we can hold them accountable.
Starting this offseason. Because I think Devontae last year, getting him changed.
Yeah. And everything. You got people that there were people on the team when he inherited the team that he would not have picked to be on the team if he had the ability to. So you got to give him that. He was stuck with some people that did not work in his system, that weren't the kind of guys that he wanted to coach.
They're no longer there.
They're no longer there. So this
No
time,
names.
there isn't, and we're not talking names here. Y'all will figure it out. So this time, we don't have to, there's no excuse. That's the point.
I agree.
He's supposed to be the man, and Ziegler's supposed to be the man, and Patriot this, blah, blah, blah. So, I feel confident that we should not be a laughingstock of the draft come Sunday.
No. I will say this. Sunday, Thursday.
No, I mean...
when it's all said and done on
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay, yeah.
We should have a high grade in this draft.
I don't care about grades.
Sunday.
That's the thing I hate about grades and off season. Like I'm so, and I'm not gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers in particular, but the whole who has leverage or who won the trade. Like you're not gonna know until who wins a draft, the off season or a trade, till their career's pretty much done.
But bro, when you take Damon Arnett's and Leatherwoods and all of these people,
yes.
Farrells and all of these people, not that you took them, it's where you took them. Like, come Sunday, it's been years where people have just been like, what did the Raiders do? We would sit and do a 4-day draft show and be ending up like, what did we do here? Like,
well, so I'm gonna say this to Raider Nation. I'm sorry if I'm bringing up an old wound. I really am. No. Damon Arnett. The Raiders were on the phone with a specific team whose hat I am wearing, who offered a 3rd-round pick and another pick, along with their first, to move up to try to select a specific player, Justin Jefferson. Mike Mayock was all for the deal, but Chucky was so hell-bent on drafting Damon Arnett, he turned it down. And he would have been there in the late 20s when you could have walked away with 2 more picks. And I could have been a happy guy because I would have had Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson catching balls from Aaron Rodgers. I would have been great. No, but John Gruden had to ruin my dream and the dreams of Raiders' future because he took Damon Arnett, who wants to threaten people on TikTok with a AR-15. But I digress.
this was a good segment, and then you messed it all up. So,
you know what was messed up? What was messed up?
What?
The Viper season.
Boy.
Man.
You know what? Is it like a They reminded me so much of UNLV, man.
I thought the same thing.
I swear.
I was gonna say that.
They reminded me so much.
Close games, you can't close the deal.
Oh, man, you talk about frustrating, bro.
Yes.
And it's like, it's this being a cameraman now has just given such a different perspective where, and especially if you just know the game and you just see, when I tell you it was some Keystones, football follies, bloopers type stuff.
At Viper games, right?
Yes.
Okay.
At Viper games. Like, come on, fellas. It can't be no worse than that next year. I think that we can see that they do have some tools because in the stretches where they played well, they played really well.
Yes.
And then the stretches where they played bad, they played awful, like terrible. So it reminds me of so much of UNLV last year.
Close games in the lead, and it's one play will happen, and it's literally that decides the game.
And then I'm constantly looking at these guys through a lens, and you can and by the 3rd quarter of a game, you're kind of like, oh, this guy can really play. And then he just does some bonehead or just gets beat, or the quarterback just has some brain fart and just throws the ball. It's just, I'm like, man, I'm watching this all over again. It's the same colors. It's like it just feels the same. That being said, presentation-wise, game experience, that was a lot of fun.
Man, let me go back to on the field. That's what I care about. Jalen McClendon is their quarterback going forward.
I hope so.
I talked to a couple scouts that have watched him coming out of Baylor and watched him. They said that he's just taking huge strides mechanically, everything else, and they think that he's only going to get better. He's relatively young.
Yeah.
Peta, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name.
Yeah, you're right.
7.5 sacks. He had 4 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
He's a legit NFL guy to me. He's a guy that you could put on the edge and say, go get the quarterback, and he'll do that job. DJ Calhoun, Avery, Deontay Anderson, Lovett and Smith as the running backs look good. I mean, there are some things that, and I'm going to tell you when the season started to turn. When Ray Sherman took over play calling. And no disrespect to the guy calling him ahead of time, I talked to a longtime NFL scout. He was like, yeah, not surprised. It should have happened sooner. He should never have had that job. The first
really?
guy. Sherman is that guy. So Rod Woodson did a great job of keeping them together. Disappointed, though. Martavius Bryant. Like, at some point, like, bro, you still, your size, and you still run a 4.2, but yet you're not getting open.
Never. Never.
Another player that I wish would have got the ball more was Geronimo Allison.
Yes.
Every time Geronimo had the ball, he made a play
something happen. Absolutely.
Overall, the Viper season to me wasn't not a success. I mean, on the field, it wasn't. But in terms of developing the fan base, in terms of just in general putting together a product that is entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Man,
like look, you come to Vegas, and I need to say this to the Oakland A's.
Talk to that camera over there.
You better have your SHIT together when you get here, because the presentation is everything. In this city, the Raiders presentation, VGK's presentation, the Aces presentation, all A1, baby. And when it comes down to the XFL, playing in a place like that where they're playing, listen, we shoot the lights also, man. Cashman Field isn't just not the spot.
Basura!
It's terrible.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Every week, they had the crowd into it. The presentation was into it. The DJing was great.
Iraq.
Everything happening, aside from the game, kept moving, kept the fans into it. And to get a crowd into that place, it's not easy.
No.
It's not
We
easy.
did, though. We all get a crowd in there.
We sure did. We did that.
You brought up the A's. I know it wasn't on our rundown.
Right.
But let's just briefly.
Yeah. Change the color soon you get here.
They're not. Same color, same name. But no, I would change. If I were them, I'd change the colors to.
Oh yeah, same colors as everybody else.
Black, gold, and silver.
Fine, we'll take it.
With a hint of red. You got to take a little like the VGK. You get a little bit of
We'll
everything.
take it.
I'll do
or
that.
at least just give us a Vegas uniform. How about that?
Something that looks fresh.
Yeah, you can keep your green and yellow or whatever.
Vegas Varsity had a good one. Put Vegas with the big,
With
A and the small S. I like that. I like that.
I mean,
Well,
you was talking earlier though. You felt like they weren't gonna be a draw.
I still don't think they're going to be a draw. I think the problem I have is there's so many baseball games, and they're maybe not because of pitch clock they go a little faster, but baseball's an acquired taste at this point. If you didn't grow up playing it or grow up watching it or really understand the nuances, you're not really the people don't get into it like they used to.
Please.
Unless they win. Unless they win.
Okay, I'll give you that.
If you're anybody that wins.
But right now, I don't. Golden Knights can lose for 2 years straight. It's still going to be packed in that place.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, last year they weren't winning. That place was not packed.
When? What do you mean?
This last season, they didn't make the playoffs.
It was empty? It looked like it looked like Oakland Coliseum?
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You know what looks like Oakland Coliseum? The Vipers games. That's what looks like Oakland. There's
When
more.
the last time you been to an A's game? Vipers game was way better than A's game.
They have more people. That's my point.
Okay. All right. So, but what I'm telling you is a new stadium in a city like this where people fly in and see the lights right across the street. If you think that the A's are not going to do better than they did in Oakland here, you're crazy.
Here's the problem. The A's,
and if they don't, it's their fault.
The A's fans in Oakland, I feel for them because when they're winning and they show up when they win, they're one of the top 2 or 3 fan bases in all of baseball. That's how highly I think of the A's fan base. Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
It's crazy.
An Oakland fan base anyway.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But the ownership of the team, an issue. Big issue. Mark Davis, he was very open in an interview recently saying basically they're the ones that held us hostage and forced our hand to move.
Right.
Otherwise, we would still. And that's been the big thing.
Yeah.
Libby Schaff was, they play more games than the Raiders. The Raiders outdraw them for 8 games.
What? By like leaps and bounds.
So you can't be mad at Vegas. You can't be mad at you can be mad at the owner, but you can't be mad at Major League Baseball saying, look, it ain't working.
No.
And at some point you lose 3 teams in 10 years. Like Raiders, Vegas, A's, now Vegas, Warriors, San Francisco.
Yeah.
You lost every team in your market.
But
That's
they're
not a team in a league thing. That's a local municipality deal. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. The problem was those stadiums. Those stadiums were trash. In this new era of it not just being about the game, it's about the production. Mm-hmm. That's what. So the Raiders ain't winning no game. They ain't winning, man. They're not winning. The production, the outing, the experience is so great that people are just willing to pay the highest ticket in the league to watch somebody lose.
Did you see what Titans just did in Nashville? 1 point something billion in local money for a new stadium.
Yeah.
But they're Oakland. They can't do it. It's a Silicon Valley. We don't have the money for it. Man, please.
I'm gonna say this part, and I'm gonna I'm not going too deep into this.
Here we go.
But let's just look at the landscape and demographic of Oakland compared to the landscape and demographic of Nashville, brother. And we can just leave that there. I'm not gonna get political. I'm not gonna get racial. I'm not gonna get in my feelings. But I can see why 1.6 billion in public funds can be used in Nashville and not in Oakland. Just take a ride through the city, man. You'll be able to understand it.
So, what do you think about the location of the stadium? Oh, Wild Wild West property.
Call it Carmageddon.
Armageddon. Karma with a C or a K?
It's gonna be a mess around that area, bro. A mess.
Now, what I would love to see happen, because it's directly across the bridge from T-Mobile.
Yeah.
So you walk across the freeway and you can get there.
Yeah.
It's a half a mile north of Allegiant Stadium.
Yes.
Take that half mile north and make one big LA Live. So you can walk from Allegiant Stadium to the baseball stadium if you want to. So if you let UNLV plays on a Saturday
That'd be tight.
at 12, you can go down, have dinner, and go right to the A's game at 7.
tight.
Or the Raiders have a Sunday night game.
That's tight.
The A's have a...
Remember that original plan for the stadium walk before COVID?
What, see,
Kind of the same thing.
we kind of had
Be
that.
tight.
Hey, shout out to Javier with that,
Man, get on it, Javier. You had it. You had it, brother. Get it back.
But yeah, so the A's coming here. I just want to point out on March 2nd, there was one of us that put out a thing saying, hey, the next month or two, there's going to be an announcement.
Here he goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, I want my damn flowers. I don't care.
Joe knows, ladies and gentlemen.
When you can roll that, but there's certain things when I say something, you got to keep an eye. Like, hey, okay, hold on. I'm just saying.
Look, I'm going to give you that, all right? Reluctantly. I'm going to give you that, all right? Move on, man. Jeez.
Okay, you know
Patting
what?
yourself on the back about your little insider information.
I'm not patting myself. I'm not patting myself on the liver though.
Joe knows.
I'm not patting myself on the liver because I ain't tanking. You're not Garcia. I'm like, ugh. Man. So Friday, I was with. Shout out to my neighbor Adrian and Antonio and DJ JMO from the Bay.
Yes.
We were at the weigh-ins for the Tank Garcia fight, and phenomenal day, perfect, right? Yeah. Watch the fight at Big Ants. If you can watch the fight at Ants, you need to, man.
I'm always gone, man.
You never know who's gonna show up, first of all, but the
always
catering.
Gone, bro.
Ant gets it fully catered.
What?
Bro, so this time I'm gonna tell you, he had pizza from Rosati's out here in Vegas. Probably the best pizza in Vegas. Rosati's.
Ant, you doing catering and all that, bro?
He had barbecue. And with the barbecue, he had a caramel cake. And he had these egg rolls that were peach cobbler.
Yeah, come on. Yo, stop.
Man.
Stop. Time out.
Yes.
Peach cobbler. Who
Yes.
made that?
Who ate it?
Who made it?
Right.
I know who ate it.
I don't know.
I know who ate it, big boy.
Hey, Kalani Lewis, you see
Kalani.
Kalani was with us too? Oh, my Lord, man.
Man had no leftovers whatsoever.
But the creme de la creme. Oh, and catfish.
Damn.
And the creme de la
And put the Louisiana twist on it too?
Yes, the creme de la creme for the whole thing. And Ant's girl, Amanda, arguably makes the best baked beans I've ever had in my life.
What?
She made 2 tins full. Kalani Lua took a whole tin, half of one back to his crib.
Oh man, Kalani would take the baked beans
No,
out of
she
the
gave
damn
it to
grocery
him.
store.
No, but she
back
gave
to
it to
his
him.
crib.
Bro, there's a whole other story about that. But man, the baked beans.
It was off the chain,
man.
huh?
But the fight was cool.
Shouts out to Amanda.
Shane Mosley Jr. was there watching the fight.
Yeah.
Carson and Ant, who do the Porterway podcast, was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And a former NFL quarterback, Sean King, was there watching the fight with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, you talking about baked beans, you talking about barbecue and
Catfish. They got to the,
ain't said nothing about the fight though.
hey, man. Hey, because we just
Come
getting there.
on, man.
You got to set it up.
Man, listen, bro.
Set,
Let me tell you who got something in common. You, Kalani, Big Ant, big time foodies, bro. The Food and Beverage Administration.
oh, yeah, the beverages was flowing, too. Shout out to Gold Bar Whiskey, too, for the whiskey they gave me.
Yeah, you've been telling me about it. They
Man.
gave you a bottle of whiskey, 2 bottles of whiskey.
No,
Now, I
no,
ain't
one.
even had
No,
a taste of nothing.
we're getting one on Thursday
All
for the
right,
draft.
bro, all right,
Hey,
have me right, bro.
man, smoothest whiskey I had.
Share
I like
it.
Bird Dog too, but the Gold Bar itself, man,
Uh-huh.
phenomenal. So
I was off in the jungle, man. I
Yes.
was in the jungle last week and walked by a little hut that was serving up some drinks, and they had the fight on. I couldn't believe it. I was looking for the game, and they had a fight. So I'm like, all right, I get to sit here and watch it. I thought I was gonna miss it, but here's the thing. I had a conversation with one of my homies about Garcia, what was supposed to happen with this switch to Goosen.
let's talk about this because
It did not happen. And from what I've heard and experienced through Big Man, who started out in Golden Gloves, who trained with the Goosens back in the day, it looked like the experience that I remember him having, which is, was he at the presser? I didn't see him
Goosen?
afterwards.
yeah,
He was?
Goosen was there.
Did he say anything?
No, at post fight.
Yes.
I don't know. I know who was. Other personnel wasn't there that needed to be there, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. So I don't feel like,
It was a good fit.
I honestly, I feel like Goosen's a pundit. He's us now. And
Interesting.
You had to pay a wad to get that dude to train you. That didn't work out. He didn't change anything. At the end of the day, Ryan Garcia was careless. He was impatient.
Yes.
There is no way that I can't see another boxer with common sense coming at Tank Davis like that.
Okay, so
Makes no sense.
The first round was a feeling out process.
Yes.
And here was my take on the whole thing. You got 2 counter punchers.
Yes.
So who's going to counter punch the counter punch?
Yes.
That was the first thing. The second thing is Tank's feet are he's so much faster. And the being in the ring, it seems like it slows down for him.
Yeah.
And if you look at that second round, when Garcia got impatient and was just out there just throwing, Tank got that smile. He gave him before he hit him with that left straight to his nose and busted his nose. He smirked like
He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming.
It took Tank less than a round to figure out Garcia like that.
Yep.
And then it was okay. Then when Garcia got hit,
Yeah.
he stayed away for 3 or 4 rounds. Like, oh no, I don't want to get hit again.
Instinct came in.
Yes.
I feel like Goosen took him out of his instinct. He was never going to beat Tank, right?
no.
But he was never going to make those kinds of mistakes.
No.
That's what I feel.
And then in that 7th round, and mind you, here, like where you're sitting, Shane was sitting, and Ant was to my right. Sean was in front of Ant. And when he dodged him and he parried, and then when he hit him with that left to the liver, and we seen Ryan go, Ant goes, ooh, he hurt him. And Shane seen it, goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Sean C was like, oh. And Carson was like, huh. And everybody else there was like, wait, what? And then he took 2 steps back. And then he went down. And was, that's it. And he wasn't. And Ant and Ryan are friendly. They're friends. So like Ant, that was the best case scenario for Ant, and personally, because he didn't want to see him get Caleb planted.
Mauled.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, like people don't realize how good Tank is.
Right.
And Tank is Mike Tyson in a lower weight division. But he's a better boxer.
I was about to say,
but he's a better
than
boxer.
Mike.
I'm talking about punching power, the way he comes in. Like
Mike could box though.
No, Mike could.
Mike
yeah.
could box. I think Mike just got knockout hungry. Knocking everybody's heads off. So.
Don King made him that way.
Yeah.
But Tank also, if you kind of look, it's like he's almost like he's just too smooth with it. Like and he knows where he's at. So I think overall, where Tank goes from here is going to be interesting. You got Haney and you got Shakur Stevenson. Whew. And I'm gonna say this much:
neither one of them can take Tank's best shot.
Here's the deal: I think Haney will fight him first. It's because how boxing is. We talked about it last week with the way. But then with Shakur Stevenson, he'll give him the best fight. He may lose, but he'll give Tank the best fight. Haney will get planted.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he'll just get planted. I do. Haney will do better than Ryan Garcia did. I don't think he will be that impatient because of the fact that he understands who Tank Davis is. Everybody else that's going to fight this man, other than Ryan Garcia, understands who he is. That's what I think.
I think Garcia understood. I think.
So what we start rushing him for then? He should have known that he was gonna get his block knocked off if he became the aggressor in this fight.
I think he felt like I could control him. You remember?
Look, who else feels like that?
See, did you watch the main event when Ant was on there?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard what he said when Bud fought Sean, and when he could move him, he knew he was going to knock him out. He was going to win.
Yeah.
I think Ryan moved Tank a little bit because Tank got no problem eating a punch to give one up. Mm-hmm. So I think he moved him a little bit, but there was a setup from Tank.
Let me ask you this right there. Do you think that Haney and Shakur are both going to go for that same setup?
Shakur, I don't think Shakur.
I think they both understand that.
I know
and
Shakur
for whatever
does for
reason,
sure.
Ryan Garcia did.
Well, okay, so I want to go to Garcia maybe why he didn't understand.
Okay. Goosing.
Not just goosing. Not just goosing.
What? Why?
Oscar De La Hoya. Look, De La Hoya used to be, I used to be a big De La Hoya guy right after the Olympics, right after it. And then there's something that changed about him. I don't know if he got turned out or what. I don't know. But for him to go into that Thursday presser talking as much as he did, and then Saturday talking as much as he did, wearing what he was wearing on top of that.
You talking about Oscar?
Yeah.
Okay.
About Oscar. And then not showing up to post-fight.
Yeah.
How do you not show your face at post-fight when it's your fighter? Talk about disrespectful.
I didn't see either one of them, man. I didn't see Goosen at post-fight either. Felt like Garcia was just out there on his own.
But then De La Hoya uses this lame-ass excuse.
What was it? I didn't hear what his excuse was.
Me and Bernard didn't come because there was death threats post-fight when we were walking to the locker room or something like that. What? Exactly. You got your dude, your golden boy, pun intended, lost. He was your last big hope for your whole company. He got handled, and it wasn't close. Really, I had 2 rounds going to Garcia. 1 and 6. That was it. And 6 was close.
The first round goes to whoever Tank's fighting against. Anyway, don't even count it.
Yeah, but that went to Garcia. And then in the 6th, I gave it to Garcia just because I was like, you know what? He kind of controlled the round a little bit. You know, that it was close. It was close.
He's biting at a hook.
Right. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying. I gave the 2 rounds. It was dominated by. You don't show up.
Trash.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I got no respect for that.
I didn't know. I didn't hear nothing about this excuse.
I just read it yesterday. Read it yesterday. It was crazy. I'm like, how the hell?
Bro,
did you not
stop
show
it.
up?
Stop it, Oscar. Stop it. Enough.
I did see him with Letty and the Brown Bag crew, like, partying. Shout out to Letty, man. One of the dopest people in LA radio. She's real good. I like the Brown Bag, what they do too. Their podcast is really good.
Sure.
So, man, you know, It's been 25 years.
25 years.
25 years since you dropped They Never Saw Me Coming.
Damn. Make me old right now.
Well, you are. You older than me.
Yep.
But it
This
is
is true.
But it is going to be Gemini season soon.
Yep. It's coming, baby.
That means you're going to
Shortly.
be on the beach drunk for a month.
There it is.
I don't know if we'll be doing a show or if I'm going to have a guest host.
We'll figure something out.
'Cause
But
you know,
yeah, I will
you
be
got-
drunk on the beach for a month. This is just standard operating procedure, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we still having the normal last couple of years annual birthday party at the pool, or has that changed?
We're trying to set this up, trying to figure out what day in May. If the party happens before Gemini season happens, it's just not going to be the same vibe.
Yeah.
So the party might end up having to be first week, second week of June, because May is kind of wild right now.
Okay,
But
so
it's an event, man.
It
It's
is,
a
yeah.
festival. You
yes,
know
it
what I'm
is
saying?
very, very much so. But
Going down.
what made me think about this was I have a playlist on my iTunes, and some of the songs from there are on that. I didn't put the whole album in there. Some
Yeah.
of them are in there.
Yeah.
And I was taking a shower the other day, and it was like Pistol Grip Pump comes on, and then
was the joints.
93 to Infinity,
Them was
and
the
then
joints.
One More Lick came on, and I was like, oh shit, I ain't heard this in a minute.
Yeah.
Then something else came on. I was like, oh, it was like 3 songs, and I'm like, now first of all, I don't want to hear your voice when I'm in the shower. That was the part that's kind of but I was like, the song's is on. Like, okay.
That took me to a bad place.
Me too. And I was in the shower.
You got
Like,
any of that gold whiskey?
not yet. Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, this weekend. So, but then I thought that got me thinking 25 years because
Yeah, man.
that was. How does it feel to have a album that is a quarter century old that honestly changed music in a lot of ways? Because you wouldn't have had R. Kelly go to more of the street version that he did. You wouldn't have had artists like Trey Songz and whatnot. I mean, you laugh. Tell me I'm lying. You can't.
Yeah, I stay out of all that, man.
So, like, how does it feel to have that type of album that kind of changed the game?
I mean, I think the great part about my best experience regarding that album was, first of all, it's what I wanted to do from the beginning. And I had to do coming of age to kind of get my foot in the door, right? And that created a thing where I was performing and recording a lot of music that I didn't personally like, right? And that puts you in, that's like being in bondage. You know what I mean? So then when I went solo from that, it was at the time when R&B, man, it was just, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, it was just soft. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it seemed like everybody wanted to write about the same thing, which was love, right? But if you back it up a bit to Vietnam, post-Vietnam, civil rights movement, you know, the women coming into their own. There was so much stuff to write about. That's how we got the Mercy, Mercy Me's and What's Going On and Superfly and all of these kind of records. But I'm looking at the time when I'm growing up, the time when we growing up. Man, there's so much out there happening other than love. I wanted to report on what I was seeing, but I couldn't rap. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because the record company's just like, well, you can't rap, so you can't make records like that. And I was just like, why are they telling me this? Why are they telling me what I can't do when I'm sitting here doing it? And shouts out, man, definitely Teresa, definitely Debbie Hammond, but God rest his soul, Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell played such a big part in saying, no, we going against the grain here. Like, this is the new fly. This is where R&B is gonna go. And he gave me a shot, and I was able to go and spread my wings. I had a great production team, man, from Mike Mosley, Rick Rock, Jazzy Faye, Noontime, like, and the artist that was on the record, like, everybody just felt it. Like, when they heard the other songs, they felt it. Like, Daz and Corrupt felt it. You know what I'm saying? Short 40, they felt it. So the great part about that album is the love that I get from my peers. You know what I'm saying? like all the little cats, most of the cats that that folks from the streets call my sons, if I see them in public, they give me my flowers all the time. And I'll take my flowers from them when I listen to their music. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's validated when I meet most of them or when they see me, I mean, you know, it feels good, man. And here we are coming up on 25 years. Bro, I went to the Bay with Mike and them and saw how all of that worked up there, and I was just trying to recreate that. I just wanted to say, well, damn, if they could do this in the Bay, why we ain't doing it in LA? So I wanted to do a record for Los Angeles. I wanted to sell the record in Los Angeles. I wanted to just run up and down the 5 and just do me from San Diego to San Francisco. And man, by the end of it, bro, I was in Thailand and I was in Japan and I was in Brazil and I was in Europe. I was living in Europe. I mean, it's just been a whirlwind. And it all started just from trying to get something out, trying to say something that everybody told me that I couldn't say. So when I look at it, it's just a testament to, I think, the determination that I had. I always think about what a struggle it was, how frustrating it was for people to constantly try to put me in a box. Oh, you need to take some dance lessons. Oh, but you see them shiny suits that Puffy them wear, that's what people like. You see
You're not
this,
lying
that,
about the
that.
dance lessons,
Like,
though.
bro, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing it, man. You understand? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing dance lessons. I cannot dance. Don't want to dance.
He's got one dance, folks.
Hey, that's it. We're gonna boogie. That's all. That's it. And we don't need to know how to do nothing else. You dance. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it gave me the chance to just, like the people that I mentioned, they gave me a chance to go in the studio, do what I wanted to do, say what I wanted to say. And it's been touching people for 25 years. I still get it in my inbox. It's like therapy for people. It's like the one little album that just won't stop growing. The business side of it, the ownership that I was able to have in it, it's just a blessing, man. Sit here 25 years, I just want to sit here and thank everybody. I want to thank you.
For what? What I do?
You got the ball rolling, bro. You was one of the people that got the ball rolling because you played my record. You didn't make me pay you to play my record.
Never.
You played it because you liked it. And it was you and other people like you that pretty much put it on. And here we are today.
Yeah. Who'd have thought that would have started a brotherhood? You know
Real
what I'm saying? Honestly, like,
Yeah.
never.
Because that was at a time when, listen, man, most of these people been fired right now, so I don't know, or old or dead or whatever, so it is what it is. These radio people was assholes. Most of them, man, they was the worst. They was the worst. I had to pay for Laker tickets. I had to pay for Dodger tickets. I had to pay for damn tuitions. I had to pay for roofs to get redone. Had to pay for bills. Had to TVs, abortions, you name it, bro. Pay for all kinds of stuff to try to get a damn record played. And the record was cool. The people liked the record. You know what I'm saying? You played the record, not because we didn't know each other like that.
No.
You played the record because you liked the record, and you say, let me see if people like it. And you gave it a shot, and the people liked it. And that's all artists need. The cream rises to the top when there isn't payola and all the bureaucracy and the red tape and stuff in the way. So, you know, I think that those relationships that album was able to build with you and with other people allowed me to go off into my independence. I could go to my spots. I can get my little records played on a couple of stations to where my fan base, my core fan base, could hear my stuff. And we still in the same position today.
You know, someday, not on this show, maybe we do something special in November when it's the actual 25th. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the story about when Andre was courting you and you had to go to New York.
Oh, yeah.
The one we talked about over cigars and drinks last summer.
Oh, yeah. Man, listen, I could write a book. I could write a book between the time that I got dropped from Atlantic and I got picked up from Sony. It's good to feel loved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so let's fast forward May 5th.
Yeah.
You're going to disappear.
Yes, sir.
Cinco de Drinko, you're disappearing.
Please believe it. It's going down. It's going down. Got a new single. New single is called Disappear. It's just time to get back out there. Everybody's been asking for new music. And full disclosure, man, ever since I got COVID, I caught COVID in December of 2020. and my hearing in this ear went to like 20-30%, and it was like that for about a year and a half. So a couple of months ago, I heard a pop, like I landed from an airplane, and it came back, and all of the songs that I recorded prior to that, I had to redo because they was out of key. I couldn't. I'm laughing about it now, but man, it was scary, man. It was scary. It's like that OG COVID that I got did something different from what.
Well, to your point, being scared, like when you sang the national anthem at Dodger Stadium, we're driving back, and even after you were upset at yourself because you're like, man, I came in off key.
Oh man.
And like, so you were already on one about it, and then
it was rough, man. If you think about like something that you're just an expert in, and you've been an expert for so long, and then all of a sudden, like you just have a handicap. And what it did was, it gave me a view of this gift that I've been given, and there's probably been time that I've taken it for granted, right? Becoming a music business person as opposed to just an artist caused me to worry about sales, caused me to worry about, you know, being lucrative. And I think that just took away from the music itself. It took away from my creativity. It took away from the reasons for doing it. And look, I just did a deep dive into my DMs and just had to be reminded of how powerful the art of music is, how lucky and how blessed I am to have the ability to do it, and to still be doing it this at this point. So look at the ear thing, and I look at the time off that I've had, and I said, look, for the days that I have left here on earth, I'm not taking it for granted anymore, period. Like, I got so many songs, people want to hear them. Let's just put them out, man. Like, who cares about what the business is at this point? I'll be fine. I've been fine all this whole time. And we used to make $10 every time somebody bought a record. Now we make 3 cents. So still here, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, speaking of, the new album comes out on the 5th, and like we're in crisis right now. Yeah. I got hacked into. So just letting everybody know, the TQ page, I'm not in control of it right now on Facebook. I know that's how a lot of you guys get my information, get my music, get all my madness and everything. But we're gonna have to circumvent. Like that's started me to thinking too, man. We do all of this stuff on these platforms. They don't like us. Like they don't help us when we like. I've personally had 70,000 people that, you know, come to my part of the platform because they like what I do, and that doesn't mean anything to these platforms. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out a way to hone it all in so we can like circumvent all of them at the end of the day. But I don't know when they're giving me my page back. I don't know what the issue is. Somebody hacked into it, and that's just what it's been. That's normally the vessel that I use to put my stuff out. So we're going over to YouTube. Everything's gonna be on YouTube. Holler at your boy on my YouTube channel. It's The Real TQ. The single will drop on the website the day before. Actually, you can go to iTunes and pre-order the single now. Hear a little bit of it. It's a line in the song that says, "We got so many vices in our devices. Sometimes you got to make it disappear," and that's what it is. We're making a video. Trish is directing the video. That will drive that point home. I think that a lot of times, man, we got to figure out a way to silence the noise, and that's what this song is about. I silence the noise by going to the beach. Yeah. Whatever your way to silence the noise, whether it's someplace that you go, whether it's a thing that you do, start doing it on a regular basis, because the world is getting noisier and it's affecting our mental health.
So, and just so everybody knows too, the intro for the Franchise Podcast is called OG. Mm-hmm. That'll also be on the album. So
be the next single after this one.
So everybody, I get asked repeatedly, like, what's up with the song? What's up with the song?
Me too.
I was with Super James on Sunday. Yeah. And he was like, hey, that intro, like, you got it? I'm like, I got the demo of it. He was like, let me hear it real quick. And he was like, man, when is he gonna drop it? That's the next single. He's like, all right.
Hey, it's coming. Yo, Corrupt, bro, come on, man. It's on you, man. Song's ready to go, man. What we doing? I'm gonna cut this. Trish, we're gonna make this clip and I'm gonna send it to him directly. All right. Corrupt, bro. Come on, man. I need you on the song, man. The song is OG. That's me and you, bro. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Throw that out there. Man already said he was gonna do the song. You know, you gotta give him a little. You know what I'm saying? Light the fuse a little bit. Got him. Oh, yeah, that's the plan, man. I had Corrupt on the joint. And I feel like that song, like, it kind of just explains us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that it's had a year or so now to just kind of circulate and kind of put it out there. It's a thing about repetition, man. When you've heard something before and you hear it again, it leaves a stain. So,
I'll say this, with that song,
yeah.
hearing you and watching you go through the process, 'cause I was from day one with that song.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just got the beat.
Yeah, you remember that.
It was
Yeah.
the whole thing. I remember I walked upstairs 'cause I was downstairs and I was
Yeah.
like, walked in the studio.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
you was there when I was
like,
recording that.
that's the one.
For sure.
That's the one. That reminds me a lot of They Never Saw Me Coming. Which is that
yeah.
something this album is going to have a lot of? Is it going to go back to original TQ or the evolution of TQ as you when you did Listen and Kind of Blue and everything else?
I wrote this project over such a long time. It's like some of the songs are old in my head, even though people haven't heard them. Some of them are new because I just kind of did them. It's got those parts, but it's like, man, I'm about to be 47. I ain't on nobody's block. I'm not doing none of that no more. You know what I'm saying? On the sideline with a camera. You know, so it's like, my point was to give y'all real life. You know what I'm saying? I can't get to this point and start making fantasy music.
Yeah.
So the album is about, you know, what I'm dealing with in life. I think that it's definitely a return to instrumentation.
Good.
It's a return to 90s type R&B. So I think for our age group, for sure, it'll be a break from the norm. I think it'll be something you can disappear to. And the name of the new album is Smoke. I got it. You get it.
Last thing before we get out of here.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. Lakers Grizzlies.
Oh, man, listen. We did talk about Lakers Grizzlies. A couple of weeks ago, we said what was going to happen in this situation. The Grizzlies wanted to smoke, and the Grizzlies got to smoke.
Dylan
Simple as
Brooks
that.
is a clown. Dylan Brooks, you're a clown. You don't talk about LeBron James like that, and you don't run from the media because you're getting your ass kicked.
That running from the media, bro, that is slimy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, my man. Come on. I mean, you know what? This is the thing. I've always had a little man's complex.
Yes, you do.
Right?
Yep.
I used to love to talk trash. I used to talk trash on the football field. I knew I couldn't back it up. Still was gonna talk trash. It's the smallest man out there. Everybody asking me, why you on this team? You should be playing powder puff. Oh, I mean, just a gambit, right? You gotta talk, bruh. You gotta at least show up to the mic and take it. Like, come on, man, that was a punk move. I respected it. Oh, this little dude is up here calling the king old. Like, for real, bro, you let that come out your mouth? He ain't scared. I loved it.
Oh, he's scared. You see the look on his, you can see the fear in his eyes. You can see it in his chest. I posted a clip on Twitter. I retweeted it. It's him saying something about LeBron, and he only goes right when he drives to the rack. And then it had like the do, and it had LeBron going left.
Left.
Then when he shot.
Left.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being
man.
said, like.
Wait. You said Dylan Brooks. John Morant didn't talk either.
John Morant stayed talking.
But did he talk to the press the other night? No, he did not. Neither one of them did. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I didn't see neither one of them talk to the press the other night.
Don't know if he did.
Hey, listen, man. I'm all for the young teams. I'm all for the athleticism. Ja is becoming my favorite player in the league.
He was. For me.
I mean, he's still that dude is different, man. Regardless, and
I'm not talking about off the field. I'm seeing things on the court that makes me just kind of.
I don't know. The guy is it. He ain't been there for a long time. But this is the thing. Rudy T. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. And not only that, LeBron can forget more playoff basketball than their whole team knows right now.
Yeah.
So I always felt that once this change was made, when Rui and the crew came in, that with LeBron's brain, it's going to be hard for any team to beat the Lakers 4 games in the series. It's going to be hard all the way through. And I felt that from the beginning. I feel it now. That being said, I expect them to lose tonight.
I don't.
Okay.
I expect them to finish it. I expect them to finish it on Wednesday. And just like Carrington said in the video I sent you, tell me that was not the cutest video in the world.
Yeah, that was tight. He did his thing.
Yeah.
He made my day that day.
He said, Hoochie Mama is a 3.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I mean, you know, so I think that this is just a classic. You know, the old man on the court that's just taking all the young
old guy at
kids
the
to school,
YMCA,
just taking them to school, man. And that's what this is. That's what it's gonna be for a while. I gotta say this, AD, bruh. This up and down roller coaster, like you're here for one game, out from now. Okay, if you're hurt and you're playing through it, I commend you. But you're supposed to be the best player on the court in this series every single night. And you're not. So whatever the case, let's get it together, man. Let's go out and manhandle these dudes and get ready for the next series. And
with that being said, the Lakers-Grizzlies series probably going to be over with tonight. To all the Clippers fans and Sherelle. And remember, guys, we're up out of here.
Trash.
You can be a lot of things in life, but it costs you nothing to be nice. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah. Live and direct from the new planet Earth. Where pandemics are plenty. But the girls are still pretty in fashionable dresses. You know what I'm talking about. Where ignorance is bliss.